Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be reviewing the lululemon Tech 2.0 by Lululemon. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of You and I, the Spanish Guy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the intro, and before I even get started, I just want to say thank you for all the wonderful feedback you guys have sent me, how to improve these videos, even though they're just for fun. I really do appreciate the time that you do take to comment and just say either great job or things I could fix. I take it all to heart, and I want to make sure I bring the best content to you guys. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to message me, DM me, comment below, and I'm going to try and do my best to make the best quality videos for you guys, and hopefully the content make the content enjoyable for you guys to watch. Before I get started, I should have said this last time, but just for disclaimers, I'm not endorsed by Lululemon. I'm not an ambassador. I'm not getting paid by Lululemon. This is just something I'm doing for fun. With that being said, I did work for Lululemon 2 years, for 2 years, from 2016, 2018. So I learned a lot about the company. I learned a lot about the technology that they put into their products. And this lululemon tech, I used to buy a lot of them using my educator discount, but I'm no longer an educator. So I'll be, any of the newer stuff I usually pay full price. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I should have said in the other video, but I didn't. But yeah, anything going forward, I would love to be sponsored one day, but just for now, obviously I'm just a beginner. But I don't really care. Like I said, I'm doing this for fun and just to bring you guys the best content. So yeah, with that being said, here I am wearing the 2.0, but this is the long sleeve. And in the video that you guys saw, I was wearing the actual 2.0 short sleeve, the green version. So I just want to give you guys my thoughts and review on these shirts, and whether or not you should pick one up, the pros and cons of it. So I'm gonna divide this video up into 3 parts. The first part I'm going to divide into comfort and aesthetics of the shirt. The second part I'm going to divide into the performance of the shirt, and the last part I'm going to divide into the value of the shirt. So is it worth you picking up this shirt for the money, for the cost? So starting off with comfort and aesthetics. So I've actually owned a lot of the Lululemon Metal Event Techs from previous versions. Actually, I brought downstairs my original Metal Event Tech. This is the shirt that started it off. You can sort of see how faded the logo is. But yeah, this is my very first shirt, and I've owned lots of different versions. Here's another one. You sort of see how this one has a little triangle right on the neck. This is actually my favorite version out of all of them. I think it just looks really cool, and they took away the vent pattern at the back. It's just full mesh at the back. And then here's another version of it. This time they took away the triangle at the neck, but they kept the mesh at the back. And then we move on to sort of this version here. A lot more kind of like almost like a ribbed pattern, and then follow with some interesting sort of vent technology at the back just for more ventilation. And all the shirts I just showed you are all 1.0, so you can sort of think of it like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. They had different versions of it, but they always called it the Metal Vent Tech. And it wasn't until recently, actually last year, so it's actually about to be almost a full year since it's been released. They released the Metal Vent Tech 2.0. This is one of them. And I actually got this one for free last year when they launched this. Here in Edmonton, they invited a bunch of dudes to test out the product, and actually got privileged enough to go to this event and got to participate in a bunch of sweaty events with a bunch of dudes, and got to test out the shirt. And they gave all the dudes there that went a Metal Vent Tech 2.0. And yeah, and actually it's kind of funny, this version is actually a very rare edition, because it actually never really came out in retail stores, at least in North America, because I was looking for this for the longest time, with the 3 little kind of like red dots here, but it never came out. So I'm not sure why lululemon did not release it. Maybe it was a special edition, or maybe something happened, but yeah, anyways, I got a special edition, so I'm one of those cool rare guys that got it. I believe the color for this is sea salt, from what I remember from the tag. It's kind of like a light gray. So anyways, for comfort wise, I'm gonna try and stick away a little bit from not talking too much about the very first version, but it's super comfortable. It's like a second skin. It just sort of hugs your body in just all the right ways, without having too much fabric sort of being loose. I'm a large. I'm 5'10" and I weigh 210 pounds. Sorry, just kidding. I wish soon, 213. So yeah, it just fits me really nice. I've had no complaints with comfort. Yeah, I can't really say too much. The one thing I will say, so one little con is this neck piece right here. So with the other versions, with the 1.0, it was kind of much really higher up. Almost kind of looks kind of like this. But with the 2.0, it kind of droops down just a little bit. This could be a 50-50 for you. Some people, they might not like the, having that shirt so high up. But for me, it never bothered me. The fabric is really nice for the original versions, so it never bothered me. But at least for me, it kind of just droops down a bit too much. And I don't know, this neck, it kind of doesn't have structure. The other ones had a bit more like structure to it, and it would stay kind of nice and like just like almost like none of like this extra fabric kind of hanging around. It almost looks like you could almost size down. But yeah, I don't know. The neck is the one thing that I would have to take it down a notch from, just because it's just a little bit too loose, just for my liking. But overall, the rest of the shirt super comfortable. Another thing for the aesthetics and comfort of this, I guess more aesthetics purpose, is and I'll kind of, you can sort of see it on this shirt here, but just the vent lines. At first when I saw this shirt, it didn't really stick out as something that looks kind of nice. Through time, it's grown a little bit. The design of this shirt is kind of a callback kind of like to the original shirt, as there used to be kind of like a vent. Hopefully you can see it. It's like a vent in the middle area, like you see that triangle. I know gray's not the best part. They also have on the side sort of like these panels, okay, and on the back they have like and this is one of the reasons it was called a Metal Vent Tech, right? It almost has like this you sort of see the panels. It kind of looks like the Lululemon logo, okay? So when the 2.0 came out, they kind of, I feel, I'm not sure about this, but at least I feel like they wanted to return back to how it originally looked like. Um, so instead of having that middle part, they now have like these side things here, but they did come back with the side panels here. They kind of like straight lines going down. Okay, so that's the same as the original one. And the back part, probably the most controversial part, at least when I first saw it, I didn't really like it at first. It's grown on me, but also it's kind of funny because I don't really see it when I run or lift. But it's kind of like this, it's like a weird kind of like vent area. It's kind of like, I don't know, almost like a triangle, but not really. It's almost just basically just, think of like your shoulder blades. It's like a tank. It's almost like if you just had like it was like those really skinny tanks that those really like buff guys always wear, that really shows like just their back. That's basically what it looks like. So yeah, some people might get pulled off with the aesthetics of it, just because there's just a bit maybe too much going on. Like I said, my favorite versions was always just these ones with just a full mesh panel in the very back and just keep it like a basic shirt. So some people might get pulled away from that or get put off by that. It's not a big deal at the very end. The cool thing is that they'll probably update the design. They'll probably still call it 2.0, but they'll probably update the design how they updated all the other ones throughout the other years. And you'll see something better. So if it's not your cup of tea, maybe just wait like a few months. I guess it's already been a year, but I would assume that maybe soonish, as the year's almost up since it's come out, they might release a new design. You might wait till then, but all I'm gonna say is that, I mean, either you're gonna like it or you don't. For me, I don't mind anymore. I think it kind of sticks out. It kind of makes it unique. When I go to the gym, you know, it kind of stands out. Even if, I know the bright color stands out, but you know, not many shirts have that design. So people kind of like, oh, what? It kind of catches the eye, I guess you can sort of say. So yeah, for comfort wise, I'll give it a 4.5, just knocking it down on the neck. All right, so moving on to performance. So before I started all this running, I used to go to the gym and lift a lot of heavy stuff. So I could do 3 plates. Just before quarantine came, I did like 3.5 plate squat, and then I think 4.5, almost 4.5, I think 430 a deadlift. And I always used to wear these shirts. So all my entire gym career, I've always worn the Metal Ventex. Not this one, but I guess this one recently, but mainly I've the 1.0 version. So I was super excited when they came out last year. I jumped right away. I got the short sleeve version of this one, tested out, and it worked just fine. I didn't really see too much of a difference. Again, just apart from the neck, but performance wise, it still holds up quite well. It wicks your sweat like no problem. Again, from the video that you saw in the very beginning of me running, even in the first little clip, you sort of see how my back is kind of drenched. I know the green is a bit hard to see, but my whole back was drenched. I had my hydration vest, and just because I was sweating so much, it wasn't evaporating that much, so it was just getting soaked. But as soon as I took that vest and I took it off home, and I think I'll have a picture, I'll post it just to sort of see, my entire back was almost completely dry. The shirt was still a little bit damp, but a lot of the moisture that was basically built up evaporated really quickly. I have another picture here I'll probably post. I went to the gym and I did some intervals for 30 minutes, so 90 seconds really fast running, and then 1 minute of just jogging. So that for 30 minutes, and then I was just so drenched, and in my picture you'll see this part is just really wet. So then by the time I basically wiped down my machine and headed over to my weights, it was basically almost all gone. So it it dries really quickly. So I can't complain there. I would say it does dry a bit more faster than the original versions. But I will say that it does feel when it's really like damp, it does feel kind of, I don't know, like kind of heavy-ish, I guess you could sort of say. The other versions didn't seem like it was as heavy. I feel like this shirt, these versions of the shirt, like to spread out the moisture a lot more throughout the whole shirt. So maybe it feels a bit more heavier, a little bit more damp. The other versions just seem just to kind of concentrate in one spot and then just evaporate. But at least that's my experience. But really, apart from that, it does the job just as it's advertised. So I can't complain there. For performance, I really want to talk about the durability of the shirt. When I first wore it, even when you wear it, it feels like a much thinner fabric than the original metal vents. It almost feels more fragile. So I'm always a bit more cautious. That's why I'm talking about the weightlifting, doing squats. I was very nervous at first, or a little bit scared, thinking that this fabric was not going to hold up to it. It has, so it's proven just to be just fine. But I will say that on this special edition sort of shirt that I got like a little tiny, it's gonna be hard to see, but there's like a little tiny little thread just sort of sticking out. And I think there's another one over here, but it's very minor, but I'm just very nitpicky about it. I take care of my shirts like really well. Like I make sure like nothing gets tangled or snagged, or I only wash myself with lululemon. So I was a little bit disappointed myself, that little thing on that shirt, especially since it never came out. But all my other versions, so I have this yellow one, the green one, this sea salt one. So I have 3 of them. They've all held up just fine to just physical or any physical sort of abuse with the weight, or just any abrasion, especially running with the hydration vest. It's been fine with it. So even though the fabric does feel lighter, a little bit more delicate, it actually holds up just quite fine. So I was actually really impressed to see that. Yeah, it's also made from the same ecstatic. They've always had ecstatic in here, which basically is just silver threads that helps prevent the odor bacteria from growing on. So you can wear this shirt for a long period of time, whether you're running, hiking, even just going across, traveling. It's not going to stink up. You can basically wear it for a while. The original version of this shirt that I bought many years ago, I used to work in the oil field, and I actually put it underneath my coverall, and I would wear it during the summer days. And honestly, I would go a full week without even washing it, and it would smell great even at the end. So that's with a bunch of dirt and grime and grease and oil. So I have so many of them, I usually just wash it after doing my exercise. But if I didn't have so many, I would probably just keep reusing it. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. The silver in the shirt does wonders. I don't smell anything at all. Actually, I think one of my sleeves here, it's kind of hard to see on the yellow, but I was right before I made this video, I was patting my newborn baby and kind of spit on my shirt, and it doesn't smell at all. So I didn't even notice it until I was about to make this video. It's like, oh, there's a little stain there, a little spit, little vomit spit. So it smells great. I can't complain, but I'll probably wash it. But yeah, it's great for me, and yeah, it wicks your sweat just amazing. So no complaint there at all. All right, so moving on to the last point, which is value. So these shirts are valued at $79.99, and that's just for the short sleeve version. So just the regular short sleeve. This is a long sleeve, so actually it's a bit more expensive. And then there's a tank version, which is a little bit cheaper, and then there's also even a polo, and there's even like hoodies. So there's a lot of different versions you can get. but for the short sleeve purpose, $79.99. So you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of money for just a shirt. Why can't I just go to Walmart or Costco and get any of those cheap shirts? So I'll tell you my little story. I used to actually work on those cheap shirts before. Actually, I used to work on my band, like metal band shirts. I still listen to metal bands. But I used to always, when I went to the concert, I would buy a shirt and then I would wear it to the gym. And I would even sometimes buy like these cheap Under Armour shirts as well for like 20 bucks. And for me, I guess at the time I never really cared, but I really got like really sweaty and the shirt would be wet the entire time and it would stink like really, really bad. So I'd always have to wash it. So it wasn't until I finally bought my first metal vent that it really just changed my entire perspective. And on top of that, it was just so comfortable. It was almost like butter. It was just so smooth. And it's held up like, I mean, this shirt, like, it's held up a lot. There's not even like a single, threads that have been like pulled or anything, no holes at all. I mean, I also do take care of my stuff a lot and I don't like put it in the dryer and stuff, I always hang it. But you know, this shirt has been with me for almost 6 years, maybe almost 7 years, and it's so fantastic. So the value I paid for it, it actually was a bit cheaper back then, but all my shirts, once they increased the price to $79.99, they've been amazing. So I can't complain. It works just fine. Like, again, I sweat a lot at the gym and I lift lots of heavy weight. And sometimes I always get scared when I have on my squat rack, with the front squat or back squats, that bar sometimes has that little really aggressive grip to it. I'm always afraid like, oh shoot, hopefully I don't rip it, but I've never had any issues at all with any of my shirts being caught on that. I know there's like special shirts that are like anti-abrade or like abrasion shirts. This shirt can handle it. It's just fine. Like, you don't need to get that stuff. The fabric just holds up quite well. So yeah, you get what you paid for. On top of that, if there was any issues with your shirt, like if something gets pulled or snagged or whatnot, the cool thing about Lululemon is you can take the shirt back if for some reason you snag it or whatnot. And sometimes they'll damage it out for you, depending how new it is. Obviously, if it's like a 10-year-old shirt, well, by that time, most of that shirt's life is already gone. But if it's like within like a year or two, and they still have that same version, it's a simple swap. So it's almost like you're buying like a little insurance to it when you pay that high premium price. So yes, you pay a lot more, but you get so much more in return. On top of that, like, and I guess this kind of goes to aesthetics and looks, you can almost wear the shirt whenever you want. Like, I wear very casually when I go to my favorite restaurant, or even sometimes when I'm teaching, I'll wear this shirt, and it just looks like a nice, great, fine shirt. So again, you get like everything that you paid for. And the technology that they put into the shirt is really fantastic. So yeah, I would give it 5 out of 5 for sure on my score of value. If you ever do find any of the metal vents on sale, you should for sure get them. Usually they go down to 49 or 59. And I know there's a huge Lululemon sale that just happened a couple weeks ago, and there's a lot of these versions that were on it. The green one that you saw in the video, I actually bought it on sale when it came out for I think $49. So that was really, really great. I like it a lot. So for sure, if you ever see them on sale and in your size, you should pick one up because you're not going to go wrong with it. So yeah, I would for sure say you get what you paid for. So 5 out of 5 for value. So at the end of the day, so when you add up all the scores, you get 14.5 out of 15. So not too bad for the shirt. Now I do know I'm kind of, hopefully not being too biased. I love Lululemon, but I'm trying to, kind of remain neutral.
Um, I don't don't have any other shirts that I really run with. Um, Sometimes I just run with like the tank version of this or the long sleeve version, depending if it's cold or not. But what I decided to do, I do have two shirts I'm gonna do when I am gonna review. One of them is from Patagonia, the other one's for Arc'teryx. So I am gonna make a comparison video, and on top of that, a separate review for those two shirts as well. Because something interesting, and one of the reasons that I started doing these reviews is because I see all these websites that you see you write in your on Google top 10 or top running shirts for 2020, and you don't really see Lululemon shirts on there. And I was like really shocked. I was like, why not? Like, these are amazing shirts. Why aren't people running in these or lifting in these? So I kind of wanted to sort of see if these shirts are actually up to the same level as those other shirts in these other reviewer sites. So I have the Patagonia Airshed and I have the Arc'teryx Cormac. They're both on that top sort of 10 list that I saw for running. So I'm going to compare those with this one. I'm a little bit excited to just try it out, but you should hopefully see that video hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I do want to put some miles into or some kilometers into it. I don't want to just wear it once and then give you my review. Probably do like a maybe 20-kilometer update or so. So yeah, just so you can I can fairly assess it and also take it to the gym, just how I would normally wear these ones. So yeah, that's been about it for my review of the Metal Vent 2.0. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe and like it, and you can always hit a bell notification if you want to make sure you are notified when my videos come out, if you do enjoy the content. Again, if you have any feedback, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try and respond. Sometimes it's a bit crazy having two kids. Today was a crazy day. It's like almost 12 o'clock at night when I'm recording. So I really wanted to record sooner, but I couldn't. I'll do my best to respond to you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.